Wisp Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
This is Season 1, Episode 20 of Hockey Talk on Wisp Sports. I'm Shannon Miller, and at Wisp Sports, we believe women in sport deserve equal coverage. I'm delighted to announce my sponsor, Yugo. Yugo is a company started up by two women who invented a great product that can be very valuable to everyone. Let's hear more about Yugo.
Have you ever thought you had the best protection for your phone only to find it failed? Yugo to the rescue, the only waterproof life jacket for your phone using a dry suit zipper closure. Your phone has full functionality while inside, and best of all, Yugo floats. Use promo code HockeyTalk and check us out at yugowear.com. That is UGOWEAR.com.
Today's episode, my guests and I will talk about motivation, defining success, team culture, global leadership, and the upcoming 2019 Women's World Ice Hockey Championships in Finland. My guests are Tuula Puputti and Saara Niemi, leaders in the hockey on the global stage. This week's Drill of the Week will be a 3v3 neutral zone continuous regroup drill, and it will be posted on my Facebook page at Coach Shannon Miller on Thursday. Thank you for joining me. I'm honored to have my own hockey podcast show on Wisp Sports and to be part of the most popular and influential podcast organization for women in sports globally. Today's podcast is titled Global Hockey Leadership. My guests are two fantastic women that are joining us from Finland. Both played college hockey for me at UMD, and now both are back in Finland playing key roles in women's hockey in Finland and globally. Saara Niemi, who was formerly Saara Tuominen when she played for me. Saara has competed at many world championships and Olympic Games and has accomplished many achievements as a player and as a coach. Saara is now the GM and head coach of the women's hockey team Helsinki IFK and the head coach of the junior girls program as well. Welcome, Saara.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you joining us from Finland, and being one of my alumni, it's going to be fun. And we have Tuula Puputti, who's famous for many things, but one of them is that when she got married, her husband took her last name, and I was there and I witnessed it. And Tuula's had a great playing career as well, playing college hockey, playing in many world championships and the Olympic Games. And Tuula is now the GM of girls and women's hockey in Finland, working for the Finnish Ice Hockey Federation. Welcome, Tuula.
Thanks, Coach. Great to be here.
It's so cute to have you still call me Coach. I love it. So, Tuula, the first question is going to go to you. As the GM of women's hockey in Finland, you have a lot of responsibility. Share a little bit with us about your role and your responsibilities at the national team level.
This is, it's been my first year, so a lot of things I've learned this year, and also it's been a year of combining two tasks, being the general manager and then also working with the world championships that we're having in Finland. So I feel like I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet, but I've already learned a lot in 1 year. It's usually been a position where it comes more from coaching side, and I feel I'm more administrator. So for me, I feel the responsibility is building sort of the structure we have in Finland, and then finding the people to help me to build hockey better.
Well, Tuula, one of the reasons I think that you're an awesome administrator is because you were a high performance player, a high level player. And you've played college hockey in the United States. You grew up in Finland playing girls hockey. You played college hockey U.S. You've played at World Championships, Olympics. You've coached, and now you're an administrator. And those are the kind of administrators that I love and respect. And you're the kind of people that I think should be leading our game, not just in Finland, but globally. So I congratulate you on your role. And we'll talk more about the World Championships a little bit later. And Saara,
thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Saara, after playing college hockey in the United States and then playing at many World Championships and Olympics, eventually you returned home to Finland and you've been very involved with coaching, and you've been very successful. How did you get into coaching, and what is it that you love about it?
The first thoughts about coaching actually started at UMD. As after my freshman year, I changed my major to exercise science. And I think the final push towards coaching was you, Shannon. Just the way you led us the whole 4 years and helped me and my teammates to grow as a person and athlete. That made my career choice, to be honest. And I got this feeling that I want to be an influence myself and help young women on their hockey career and in their life someday. So thanks for being a great role model.
Well, I appreciate that, Saara. Thank you very much. And Saara was the captain and when we won our 5th national championship. So Saara went from being a freshman coming in from Finland, obviously a little bit insecure about the language and everything being new. I mean, that's a difficult situation when you come in from another country and everything is new, not just the academics, but the hockey and the groceries and going to the bank and how things are done on a day-to-day basis. But to watch you evolve through those 4 years was amazing. And then for you to become the captain and be an outstanding leader and lead us to our 5th national championship, that's something that I hope that you'll hold dear and be proud of for the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
So Tuula, you're new in your role as GM of women's hockey, and you already said you haven't had a lot of time to dive into that role and do a lot of things because you're the general secretary for the 2019 Women's World Ice Hockey Championships being hosted this April in Finland. You obviously have your hands full. Tell us about your role with that event and tell us about the event.
Well, of course, it's going to be an exciting event for sure. First time ever we're going to be having 10 teams playing at the top level. So, of course, it's going to be a great level of hockey. And even though we're coming right after the Olympics, I think now women's hockey overall as a game is not only living in a 4-year cycle. We competing and we growing fast. So I think it's going to be good hockey, and it's gonna be exciting to see all the players and of course all the friends we have there in different teams. And overall of the project, it's of course we start working with the IHF, the International Ice Hockey Federation, on the regulation, what needs to be there to make it possible for all 10 teams from equal standards, kind of going and competing for the medals, and then building our organization on the other side. So how we take care of the players, how we take care of the audience, who we gonna have as partners, and so on. And it's been exciting project so far, and definitely we're gonna be ready for April.
Well, and Tuula, you've been involved in so many world championships and hosting different kinds of events, and you are well aware of the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes. I imagine very few people are, unless you're a coach or administrator that's been very close to people that have been hosting events. It's from morning till night. It probably takes, a good year to prepare? And then from morning till night again while the event's going on. Would you say it takes a year to prepare or even longer?
Yes, a year is a good amount. I think you can prepare for longer, but in a year you get, in this kind of event, many of the things done. Of course, it's always, no matter how much time you have to prepare, it's always going to be the last 1 or 2 months that it's a lot of running and a lot of long nights. And as you said, also during the event. So just to making all the bits and pieces ready and get things in order to make everyone happy in the event.
Well, in this World Championships is a special event. Tell us how many teams are going to be there, Tuula, and when that changed. And
yeah, it's exciting because it's the first time we're gonna be having the 10 teams, and it was just a late call from the IHF Council, and we're gonna be the first country to host the 10 teams. It's of course it's a lot, and everyone, it's gonna be something to also see after the event, sort of what we did well, what needs to be improved. But overall, I think for the sport, it's super good that we get the 10 teams in, because it also makes a great impact, because we're going to have the 10 teams next time in 2022 Olympics as well. So this is important in a way, sort of showing where the game is, and also showing that the 10 teams belong to the top level.
Yes, we've typically had 8 countries competing at the World Championships and the Olympic Games. We're now up to 10 for the Worlds and the next Olympics, and it just goes to show you the depth of women's hockey and how much it's growing. And it's such a fabulous move, and we're all excited about it. Everybody is. So that's great. And you get to be the first country to host the 10 teams. It's going to be fun.
Yes, exciting, and we're proud to have it.
For sure. So Saara, you went to China to coach as well. Tell us why you went to China, what your role was when you were there, and a little bit about that international experience.
Yeah, I got this opportunity like a year and a half ago, and I took the job from a couple of reasons. I had been coaching in Finland for a few years, and I wanted to develop myself. And as a coach, you have to be sometimes uncomfortable to get to the next level. So definitely, sometimes there were moments that when you're with different culture, new people, with new coaching staff, you need to bring new things to the table every day. And I also had a feeling that with my background, I have something to give for the Chinese hockey. So yeah, we were living in China like 1 month a period, and then we traveled to Canada where we played the CWHL, the league, and it was very competitive league, like the best league in the world pretty much. So the games were very tough, and we have this mentor system that half of our team was Chinese based, and then there was North Americans and Finns who were like athlete ambassadors and helping the Chinese to develop with the team staff. So I think the circumstances were very interesting. The main purpose was to develop the Chinese, and I think we did a pretty good job with that. But also I would like to see the Chinese to play more the games, because the games were so tough. So a lot of the ambassadors were playing. So that was a little bit like sometimes like hard for me as a coach to kind of face. But I get to plan a lot of practices. I was mostly running and working with the forwards because I was the center. So that was like natural job for me. And Gidget Murphy was the head coach. So I work a lot with her, and I get to do all the video meetings, and I watch a ton of video about other teams and our team, how we can get better in tactics wise. And I got to live like coaching life 24/7. Like in Finland before I was coaching, but I also have a lot of other things to do. So now I just got to focus on coaching, which was great. We travel a lot. We lived in a hotel, ate hotel food. So it was a lot of different, like to be away from home. But all in all, it was a great experience. And I love the Chinese, like the character they have, and they want to get better. And I hope all the best for them to prepare for the Beijing Olympics.
Yeah, and that's one of the challenges. China's bringing in coaches and players from other countries to be on their Chinese club teams or professional teams, whatever you want to call it. And so that's one of the challenges, like you said. Obviously, I knew you were there coaching. I knew they had coached Gidget Murphy as well as some of the other coaches that have cycled through there. And that's the difficult part, is that you're expected to win, but yet you're supposed to be trying to develop the Chinese players, and they're not as strong as the players from North America that you brought in. And so those Chinese kids aren't playing nearly as much as they should be to get ready for the next Winter Olympics. And so that's something that they're still struggling with today, is it not?
Yeah, I think so. Even this season, they have more Chinese and less athlete ambassadors, but still, the club and the society, they want them to win. And it's sometimes not maybe the right thing when you want to develop the Chinese.
Right. You've got to decide if you're there to win or if you're there to develop, because I know when they played us, when I was coaching the Calgary Inferno and they played against us, they only played one or maybe two, but one for sure, Chinese player, and the rest were the North American players. So I thought that was interesting, because the Olympics are only a few years away, and it takes years and years to develop an Olympic athlete. So that's interesting experience that you had, and good for you for having the courage to go and do that. So Tuula, you also worked for the Finnish Olympic Committee for 5 years. You worked for the Finnish Speed Skating Union, and you had many years with the Finnish Ice Hockey Federation in different roles. So you have a lot of significant administration and leadership experience. What is required to be a great leader in an administration role?
I think in a way I see it a lot of similar that is to coaching. Honestly, I think it's you have to have the vision where you want to go. You have to define the roles that you believe takes you there, and then you have to find the people that you trust to kind of go that path with you. So I think for me it's been the experience, but the longer I worked with, the more I feel that the better people I find, and the more fun I have with them, and share the road we wanna go. So I think that it always comes with the more better result as the better people I find around me.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. So I know that you're very much looked up to in Finland for your leadership of women's hockey, but I also want you to know that you're admired by the people that know you that live in other countries. And many of us have discussed you and think you're a great woman to be in a leadership role and to help grow the game globally. So good luck with that. And Tuula, what are your strengths? What would you consider your strengths are as a leader?
I think for me, I felt as a player I was hardworking, and I feel it's the same way. And I think it's of course the experience I have at the moment. It feels funny to say that because we all still feel that we the 25, right? so
That's right.
So, but yeah. So, but looking back, of now with the World Championships, I've done all the IHF World Championships at the moment, the Men's World Championships, the World Juniors, the Under 18 for boys and girls, and now finally get to do the women's hockey or the Women's World Championship as well. So I think for me that experience combined with the experience as a player. So, and for me it's also a matter of heart in a way. So it's being born and raised in hockey. So it feels like it's also giving back for the sport in a way.
Yes, and you always do it with a smile on your face. When you played net for me, and anytime I've ever bumped into you over the years at international events, you're always working hard. You're always somebody who is loyal, someone you can trust, but you always got a smile on your face, and I love that about you. So that's one of your strengths too, Tuula, just so you know. So Saara, what are your strengths as a coach?
I think I have a couple important strengths. Of course, I love the hockey. I love the game of hockey, and I understand the game pretty well. Like that was my strength as a player. I was center. I could pass the puck, and I saw the ice pretty well. So as a coach, I understand the game, and I'm still in the process to being able to teach the game. It's not the same to understand the game and teach the game. So I want to get better. But the hockey been my life last 30 years, so it's natural for me. But I also understand that the game is about the people. Like if the team is not working well together or the individuals aren't doing well, there won't be any success. So no matter how good tactics you have or how skilled your players are, if they don't have fun together and the team chemistry is not there, like you don't win the game. So I think I understand the whole process, and of course there's tons to learn, but I'm willing to learn every day.
Yeah, that was my experience with you as a player and as a captain at UMD. Is you and Tuula both, you guys work so hard. I think it's part of your Finnish culture. You guys listen, you're respectful, and you work very, very hard. And you're players the kind of coaches that can trust to put out on the ice. And of course, you're going to make mistakes, but we know we're always going to get our best from you. And I consider both you, Saara and Tuula, authentic leaders. It's really important to me. And you were authentic leaders when you were playing in college. I know you continue to be authentic leaders of the game of hockey. And I think that's really important because not everybody is. And I think the more authentic people we can get, it's going to help the culture and the growth of our game. So Saara, you've got your own set of skills and your own strengths as a head coach. So when you're hiring assistant coaches to work with you and your team, what skill set are you looking for? Or what kind of people are you looking for?
Of course, I want to get along very well with them so we can talk about life, talk about hockey. But in terms of our coaching, like how we teach the team, I don't want that they always agree with me. I want that we have great discussions, that's the only way we get better as a staff. That if they're always, my staff is like, yes, let's do that, I don't think we have the skills to develop. I want like good discussions, different opinions, but of course it's a head coach who is making those decisions in the end. But I want different people. I don't want that everybody is similar with me. But the key thing is, of course, that people need to be hard workers. Like if you want to be successful, you need to work hard. Like that's the key.
Awesome. So Tuula, how do you define success?
This is a tough question because I actually had to give a small presentation on this some time ago in this Finnish Olympic coaches seminar, and I look at it in two ways. In a way, because in my career, I got to the national team in an early age in a way, and I think only later on I felt I came to a point as a player where I really somehow in a deeper level realized what my performance actually makes for the team for us to win. And in a way, I think if I'm looking at success at the moment, because now my job at the moment is making the environment possible for people to succeed. So making the environment the way that they have the courage and they have the support, also both players and the staff, to work hard and be able to throw themselves in for the hockey to be the best they can be. But then on the other side, it's also what I found as a player that honestly, I have to say, if I'm happy that we also achieved something in a ways that the Olympic bronze medal or the NCAA, the championships that we got, because in a way it shows you that you did something right. But then again, there's so much more to it as well. What you learn during trying to do all those things, the people around you, the friendships and everything. So in a way, at the moment, I look at the way that I want to make it possible for the people around me to succeed and to reach their best. But then again, on the other side, of course, we also need to get the success in ways of achievement, Olympic medals, and so on, to get also the funding for the program in the future. So it's a tough question.
Yeah, that's a good answer, though, because it's all encompassing. There's so many factors involved with whether or not you would call yourself successful on that day at that time.
Yes.
Sometimes success is just the fact that you have your team in a rhythm and they're actually getting along and they're happy. And it's like, okay, now we're here. That's great. We're successful because we're doing that. Now, what's our next goal? What's our next step? And so for me anyway, I agree with everything that you said. And I think each day or each week or each month, it's a little bit different depending on what adversity you're facing or what the situation is. Yeah. Because like you said, you need funding. You need funding for the future.
Yes, you have to get the result as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Saara, how about you as a former athlete and now a coach? Although, Saara, I have to say, I heard you scored 5 goals the other day in your game. Is that true?
Is there a rumor going on?
There is. It went from Finland to Duluth to Las Vegas.
Whoa.
And don't forget the one on Saturday. That was the game winner.
Sometimes...
Also, she got the game winner.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to throw out yourself out there and give to your team what you have. So... Yeah, but
so this is the team that you coach?
Yeah.
This is the team that you coach, but you went out and played on the weekend.
Yeah, I've been last few weeks I've been like a player coach. I think we needed a little we have pretty young team. Like the team age average is 20, and to be honest, like when we're having our goal setting is to get to the top level this season, to the top league. We need some leadership, and of course I can give it on the bench, but I also felt that being on the ice is also a good thing to do. And yeah, we have 4 games left, and then that's my last games for sure.
And that's after just having a baby, 9 months ago?
Yeah. Oh,
and then you went out and scored the game winner? So then you go and score the game winner, and then the next day you score 5 goals. Seriously, that's awesome.
Thank you. Well, let's go back to the question, real question.
Okay, Saara. Saara, how do you define success?
I really like the answer that Tuula gave. I really think the same, that, yeah, it's about the end result, but also it's about the trip. So all the experiences and moments you are dealing with the team, and but also like after a game, after a season, like when you look at the mirror, like, and you look at yourself in the eye, like, did you give everything and did you achieve your goals? Like, I think then you see, like, you define success on yourself. But it's there's many things. It's hard to define only in one sentence or one word.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Do you have a coaching philosophy, Saara? Basically, I'll just give you an example. I always say that my philosophy is I enjoy helping athletes become the best they can be. And in doing that, it helps me become the best I can be. And so it's a full circle of support and empowering each other. Sort of that's my philosophy, and I start from there and I build. Do you have a philosophy for coaching?
Yes, I do, and I believe a lot in goal setting. You have to know as a team and as an individual, like, why you're putting the work every day and what you're doing to get better. So you are in the right track every day. You know why you're here. But I also believe in energy, that people have to have fun what they're doing so they stay motivated. And yes, I agree, and I feel the same, that we're there to support the athletes and find the best from themselves. And I also want that the athletes learn to think about that I'm not always telling the right answer. They need to find the answer on their own. I help them, I guide them towards that.
Oh, that's excellent. I love that. So Tuula, back when I had Team Canada coaching development, they taught us the importance of the process and to trust in the process. It was a very big part of our foundation and our coaching development. So still to this day, that is an important part of Team Canada's philosophy for men's and women's hockey when they're developing their coaches. What is the approach that Team Finland uses?
This is a very good question for me at the moment, because I feel like this year when I started, I've only been with structures at the moment, and I'm really looking forward next year, because I have a feeling how many times I've told Saara that I'm so looking forward her to come back from the maternity leave, so then we can get to working with Team Finland a little bit more than this year, now that she's been helping IHFK and taking care of the kid. Of course, the kid's still going to be around, and IHFK as well, but I'm really looking forward. How I feel is that we need to have the structure where people are working, and then when we get the people working, I think it comes from the right people where we want to go towards too. So in a way, yes, developing the process through the coaches, but of course with the goal that we have in achieving medals at the top level, having better league at home to help the players to get better, also for the national team level, and then growing the numbers of the game. So I think, yes, we are still not at the level that we have some processes at the moment, but I'm not yet happy with everything we have. So I'm really looking forward. I think we have already some good people signed in our system that we've already started working with. But definitely looking for next year that we can get into working with Saara and the rest of the coaches, building and then working on the player scouting, player development, and also the coach education system.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's
a lot
wonderful.
to do.
Yeah, a lot to do. But, Team Finland, it doesn't matter if you're watching the women, the men, the World Juniors, you guys are always in it. You're always competitive, and the work ethic is always there, and you're always such great role models for the sport of hockey, no matter what team I watch from Finland. So whatever you're doing it right, Tuula. You're doing it right. You guys are good.
Thanks, coach. And I think I'm also looking forward because our women's hockey is still young in Finland. So I think that's why I'm also looking forward getting Saara back at the office as well, because she's already very well connected with the coaches we have on the men's side of hockey at the moment. So I think the experience that we get to share with the people that we already have, if you may call, sort of on the boys' side of the game in Finland at the moment. So sort of having the strength from there and then adding what we need from the women's side of the game. So I think there we have a good key to find a little bit more weapons in a way.
Yeah.
To build even a stronger program.
Yes, that's awesome. So Saara, I consider myself a compassionate human being, a compassionate coach. I know that you're a compassionate human being and a compassionate coach. So here's the problem when you're coaching, and especially when you're the head coach. Compassion is always in conflict with competition. And what I mean when I say that is players are always competing against each other within the team in order to be able to play. Whether it's just getting dressed to play in the game, or you're dressed and you're on the fourth line, you're not getting to play much, or you're on the power play or you're not. So it's as a coach that's compassionate, you're always in that, there's that conflict of competition within the team and the struggle of deciding who's going to play and who's not going to play. And then the minute somebody's not playing or they're not on the power play and they want to be, they're unhappy. How do you handle that? Those unhappy players because they aren't playing or they're not playing in the role that they want to be playing in.
Yeah, that's something you have to deal with the team almost every day, and it's always tough situation. But of course, it's the most fun thing is to play and not cheer from the bench. That's everybody wants to play, and I'm approaching this telling the players about different roles in a team. It's just the fact that not all can be in the first line or goal scorers, but however, everyone depending on her role is important for the team. So you need to make everybody understand that if you're fourth liner or first liner, we still love you and want to develop you, but there's just different roles. And it's a good thing that there's competition in a team, but that the side effect is that always there's somebody unhappy. And my staff, we try to have some coaches are working more with some players, and I try to more focus on the tactics and maybe the first and second line, and then my other coaches are more with the third and fourth line, so they feel like they're supported too. So it's about coaching staff too, that everybody needs to get attention. Like you cannot leave the fourth liners alone, because in the end of the day, you need everybody and you need to bring everybody on the board, because it affects on the team chemistry. And what if your first or second line, they get injured? You need to focus on everybody. And also the players need to understand their role, why they're not in the power play, why they're not in first line. And you have to talk with them and find understanding together.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that approach. Saara, just so you know, that's my approach as well, where as the head coach, I would typically focus on the top 10 players, the top two lines. And it's not that the third and fourth line aren't important, but the top players need a higher level of feedback, whether it's video or being on the ice. And so typically it's the head coach that can do that. And I guess it depends on your staff and your skill set. But yes, I would have my assistant coaches focus more as well on the third and the fourth line units and give them a lot of attention and development, like whatever they need, whether it's skating or shooting off the pass, and be very specific to where they're at and their development. And then you put those two halves together to make the whole. And not always, but I would say, at least 90% of the time in my coaching career, it's worked out very, very well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you've got that philosophy going. I agree with that. So
Can I
Tuula,
jump in though, Ivan?
Yes, yes. We're having a conversation.
This is super interesting topic because having the experience playing here at home and I always told that when in high school and then in university hockey, those are the years when I've had the most fun with hockey because I didn't really need to worry about anything else. And then, but I think now looking from you guys working with, especially at the moment in our game, when we have adult teams where some people are probably in a very lucky position where they play as a professional, they get some money out of it as well. But then we have the same team when we have players that might still work at the same time, might still go to school, so they have very different time that they can put into their hockey. So I think that's something I love watching, and it's interesting and overall in our game at the moment where we're going with this, because especially what you say, we have a bunch of the most talented kids that are probably getting paid to play, and they have the time and energy to put in the hockey, the development, and then we still gonna for many years gonna be having the players in the team that can't give the same time for their hockey, and yet still they are important part of the team. So it's amazing what you guys do that as coaches.
Yeah, that's our biggest challenge every day. Saara already said that, and every coach that I've talked to in every country at every level. And I talk to a lot of coaches now because of the Hockey Talk show that we're on right now. And Tuula, so it's so refreshing as an administrator to hear from you that you see that in coaches and you respect what they're doing and how difficult that is and the importance of it.
It really is a different when you're working with women of 35 years of age, where they already have some Olympic medals behind them, and they finally have the chance to play the game at the professional level. Yet then they still are in the position in a way also that they can still decide whether today is when I've had enough of it in a way. So it is an interesting situation what we have as coaches, because it's still the player that gets to decide a lot how far she wants to push and how much she can be pushed in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Tuula, that kind of ties in with the circle of respect. So obviously for an organization like Team Finland to be successful, or Saara's team that she's coaching, the administration needs to respect the coaches need to respect the administration, coaches have to respect the players have to respect the coaches. That's what's important, to have a circle of trust and to have respect and to have a strong culture. What's your best advice on how to try to create that? Let's start from the administration viewpoint. You as the administrator, how do you try to create that so there's respect and it's a win-win and we stick together, we play together, and we do well together?
Yes, you have to first make the decision where if you want to be one of the top teams, whether it's the national team or your club team, and then how much work you have to understand how much work you need to do to be there. And then you assign, you get the coaches you believe who will get you there, and then you work together to kind of give the message for your players and set the level of the culture and the practice that you need to do together as a team to achieve the goal. And yes, of course, when the level of expectation is high, you will have bumps and bruises as well, because there will be a discussion on how much you can demand and what's the tolerance and how to get there. But then that really is the only way how you can do and how you can get a high level team. That you just have to make the goal setting together and then commit to the goals.
Yeah. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yes, and we all know how easy it is.
Yes. Okay, so Saara, I believe you were on the team many years ago with Manuble when we focused on the importance of making a small difference each day. And tell me if you remember this. We talked about 211 degrees is hot water. 212 degrees is boiling water, which is steam. So 1 degree difference creates steam. It goes from water to steam, and a steam can power a locomotive. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I still have the hat with me.
Oh, good. That's awesome. So are you a motivational coach, and what kind of things do you do?
Yeah, I think if I look back, like my UMD time, like I think why the players were always so motivated to go to the rink to practice was because you were so motivational. And when we have like important games, like when I went to UMD, we got to the Frozen Four every year, so we were very successful. But every time you had something new, some motivational video or things you told us, and I learned a lot. But of course, I'm trying to build on that, but I still need to be myself. So I think I'm in the learning process to how much to bring those things to my team. And but I think it's so important to talk to the players before the game, before the practices, and get them motivated. And I still have tons of those great T-shirts you guys gave us, like with those titles. And I think my greatest memory is probably when in 2008 we were hosting the Frozen Four in Duluth. And do you remember when before the first semifinal game, you came to the locker room and played us with the guitar our favorite song?
Yeah.
With the cowboy hat on. It was awesome. Like everybody was just ready to rock and roll. And I'm not there yet to do things like you did, but eventually hopefully I can throw myself out there. And and also do you remember when you get the boxing tattoo and you showed us before
boxing
game?
gloves.
Yeah
I got boxing gloves tattoo on my back. Yes.
Yeah and
I forgot about that.
I still remember. Yes, we lost that game, and I still feel bad about it because, like, come on, you took a tattoo and we lost, and oh my god, it's unforgettable.
Yeah, my mom didn't know about that tattoo for about 15 years, no, maybe 10 years. 10 years. And then I just recently told her about it. I showed it to her at Christmas, and she was beside herself that I have a tattoo. Yeah, you do things, you put yourself out there, but you'll do it when you're ready, Saara. Whenever you're comfortable, you'll do it. So it's fun. So Tuula, you're a very successful and professional administrator. What advice can you give to administrators that are in these leadership positions to help them along the way to be the best they can be?
I feel like I'm not there yet to give the advice, but I have to take what you guys, the good memories we had. Honestly, I think the timing of the things that happened, I also just loved the sort of the normal life of it, like how you take the players, or how you took the players, and you were real with everyone. So it's sometimes, if you'd be reading the story, if we'd be remembering just the fun things, it could be, for someone that, okay, it's the magic tricks in a way, tie your hair or play the guitar, but for me, it really was how you, like, if anyone had anything to talk to, you were always there. And then the timing of the things. Like, I have to tell them my story as well, because it was the second year. And the first year I had my boyfriend Pasi also playing for the men's team. And then the second year he wasn't there. So I was a little bit uptight by the time we were going to the most important games. And then there was this one evening I was going to the bed already, and then our teammates from the same house came down. Tuula, there's a package for you. I was like, oh, come on, guys. I'm just brushing my teeth and going to bed. So what's going on then? There's this hockey bag in our, was it at the balcony or in the kitchen? And they like open it. It's like, I'm not going to open it. It's like, what's going on? And then I'm sort of going around the bag. And I was like, it moves. Like, what really is going on in here? And I'm opening the bag, and it's my husband at the time, Pasi, who's in the bag. so exactly, if it would have been 2 months before, it didn't make a difference, but at that time, super timing.
Yeah, Pasi was in a hockey bag in your living room in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Yes.
And you were very upset that your roommates woke you up. You were like, what? You were grouchy, Tuula.
Yes. I have a big day, next day, exam, and the games are coming.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thanks for sharing that story. Well, you know what? Let's end on another story. Saara, you were the captain in 2010. We're playing at the University of Minnesota, our biggest rival, and we're not playing them, but we're playing in their rink. They're not in the game. We're in the championship game against Cornell, and the crowd's packed. The stands are packed with mostly fans from us because we're in Minnesota. We're in first of all, we're playing in our second game already. So it's our first game, but we went into overtime, and we played only 33 seconds shy of playing 2 complete games back to back in one game. You're the captain. It's late in the game. So we're late in our second game, so to speak, even though it's in one game. You come over the bench, you're cramping up, and you're screaming, "Get me Montana, get me Montana." And we have someone on our staff, just so the listeners know, we have someone on our staff called Montana. She's the equipment manager and the strength coach, and she's on the bench. And we think Saara, remember, English is her second language, and she's doubled over cramping. We think she's yelling, "Get me Montana, get me Montana." We're all screaming at Montana, and I'm screaming the loudest because you're my captain and best player, and I'm screaming at Montana to get down here and take care of you. And you finally, after we yelled 3 or 4 times, "Montana, Montana," you finally sat up and looked at me with this terror in your eyes. And you said, "No, get me a banana."
Yes, I remember this like yesterday. Like, yeah, it was a hell of a game, like 2 games in a row. And I have this tendency that my leg starts to cramp. I don't know why. And yeah, I needed banana because it helps your cramps, and nobody was understanding me, and it was just so funny. But I'm so happy. It was my last college game, and we won it. It was crazy. Yeah.
Oh, that is the funniest moment.
Time.
That is the funniest moment I've ever had on the bench in my entire coaching career. We just burst out laughing because you were so mad.
Little language barrier there.
Well, yeah. And it was loud in there. I mean, English is your second language. It's loud. You're doubled over. You're cramping. I mean, it was at your expense. We had a good laugh, Saara. But it's a happy ending because you were the captain and we won. So Saara and Tuula, you guys are in Finland right now. I want to thank you for taking the time to be guests on this Hockey Talk show and for sharing yourselves and your knowledge with the many coaches who are listening. I want to wish you best wishes for a great team performance for Team Finland at 2019 World Championships that you're hosting. And good luck as the host committee, especially you, Tuula. We hope it's a great event. And I just want to say thank you.
Thanks, Coach. It was great to be here and hope to see you and all the coaches listening at the World Championships.
Conversations from the world of women's sports. This is Wisp Sports Radio.
Thank you for listening and enjoy the game. Follow and comment on social media. Twitter is at Wisp Sports. My Twitter is at Miller12Shannon. My Facebook and Instagram is at Coach Shannon Miller. My website is CoachShannonMiller.com. You can find the links in the show notes for this episode at wisports.com and find more coverage of women's sport. Thank you for listening and supporting women in sport everywhere.